keep in mind that once again, look at the city of New York. They have elected a guy who's going to be their mayor, who's a law and order Democrat, who basically ran on I am going to go after criminals and I am going to make them pay when they break the law.
Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely.
And I think that is a message that is going to resonate. Really doesn't matter what party you're in. I think what you're going to see is 2020 is going to be the law and order election. And whoever comes out law and order, that is who is going to wind up getting elected.
Yeah, that's true. And the other side is going to go to jail, this time for real, Hillary. So you better hope you're not around still, because you'd be going to jail. And that's where you're going to go, back to the jail. Craig, let's jump on to the next one here. I'm trying to remember which state was this in where we had the Trump supporter. We had an individual who was flying a flag for the president's brother, for Frank Biden, because outside their house they had the sign said F Biden, and I'm just assuming they're talking about the president's brother Frank. And that the judge came down and said that they needed to remove the flag. They had to take that flag down. And let's see. Let's take a look here. Where
it was New Jersey. It was New Jersey.
It was New Jersey.
New Jersey.
All right. How you doing? Going down to the shore when we're done here. Oh yeah. All right. So we have in New Jersey where this individual was ordered by the judge to take down the F asterisk Biden flag. So the individual said, nah, no, not happening. Not happening. Now, Craig, before we get into what they have planned for this individual, I want to ask you your opinion on this. You and I have talked about this, I think, once or twice, and this topic just got bounced for time's sake over the past couple of days.
Right.
What do you think of the flag being flown that says, and folks, when I say F Biden, it's not Frank, it's another word that starts with F, and it's not frack, it's not Fokker, but it's getting closer. So
it rhymes with duck.
Yeah, my phone seems to think I type the word duck a lot, and I've never intentionally typed the word duck. Just want my phone to know that right now. All right, Craig. So we have this F Biden flag. What do you think of the flying of the flag that says F Biden?
Well, I think the point that was made in particular here by the judge was that it's not about the political speech, but it's about the obscenity, and the fact that literally because it had the obscenity on it, that they could actually require them to take it down because it's a state law dealing with issues of obscenity and this being near a school and yada yada yada. I don't know, man. I'm like this. I believe in the freedom of speech, and I believe that the First Amendment doesn't exist to protect speech that is pretty. It's meant to protect controversial speech. And in this particular case, it may be curse word, it may be foul language, but it still should be protected speech. I really would have had a greater appreciation had they done something a little bit kind of interesting. They could have said what they could have said and not use profanity on a sign. But I'm not one that's above or beyond using profanity. So I don't know. I don't know. I just think the right to freedom of speech needs to be protected.
Here's my issue with this, Craig, and I think we're kind of close on it. Now, Florida had a law that said you could not use obscenities or curse words in public, in writing, on display. Otherwise, you could be charged with a misdemeanor for. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was, but it was something like just causing a disturbance, or something along those lines. And again, lowest level misdemeanor, small fine up to 60 days in prison kind of thing, 60 days in jail kind of thing. It got overturned. The judges looked at it. The state Supreme Court looked at it, said it was unconstitutional because it violated free speech. Now, here's my issue with that, and here's my issue with what they're facing up there in New Jersey right now. Gregory, do you recall what I believe it was Justice Warren may have said it, what the Supreme Court said when it was dealing with pornography with the Larry Flint case 30 years ago? Do you recall what the ruling was?
The ruling regarding pornography was you'll know it when you see it. was pretty much the point. So
exactly right.
Right.
Yeah. So having it again, it's vulgar, it's profane. I can't tell you what it is specifically, but I'll know it when I see it. You'll know it when you see it. That's it. So here's my issue, Craig. So you and I, we're consenting adults. I guess pornography is defined as we'll know it when we see it. Curse words such as the F word are profane, but evidently we're big enough to handle that according to the beliefs of many of the jurisdictions. Can I show the pornography, Craig, which is legal, by the way? Larry Flint's allowed to produce that. Well, he's passed now, but it's allowed to still be produced. Can I show that to children?
No.
Okay. So I don't know how I can have pornography legal for adults and the F word legal, but if I show pornography to a child, it's illegal. But if I say the F word to a child, it's not. So I lose that there. Because I like to think of myself as an adult that treats children the correct way, to rear them, to raise them, and I don't want you or anybody else saying the F word around my kid or swearing around my kids. And I think that has to do with being a responsible adult and respect. I understand this guy wants to make, guy or girl, I have no idea, wants to make a point, wants to make a splash. But when I have to drive a 5-year-old down the road in my car, taking them to daycare or school, and they say, "Daddy, what's Duck Biden mean?" You know what? I'm going to find that person and smack him in the mouth, because it's the same way as if you're sitting next to me in a restaurant and you want to be disrespectful like that. That's where I have the issue with this. You want to draw a line as an adult and be an adult and do something stupid, that's fine. But when you start affecting children, I think we need to have a separate standard.
Mike, that is the best explanation that I have heard for that position, and I have to say I agree wholeheartedly with it. I agree wholeheartedly with you. You have convinced me.
And listen, there's a guy in Florida, and I'm just going to say it because this word we can get away with. He got arrested because a cop didn't know the law had been overturned. And that happens quite frequently because cops are not told about new case law, they get new statute law. So let me say that. But this guy runs around and he's got a sticker in his back window that says "I eat ass," and evidently that's okay. That's okay with me and my 8-year-old to drive around in and have to explain that to them. You want to do that by yourself. You want to put that somewhere where there's no kids around. I get it. It's about respect. And you can listen. You want to write it. You want to submit it in a newspaper. You want to put it in an article. Go right ahead, but why you drive back and forth in front of the school 3 times a day? That's not being a responsible adult or respectful, in my opinion.
Nope. Hey, you get no disagreement from me. I think you drew a perfect analogy, the perfect example. Yeah, all across the board. Way to go, Mikey.
Well, I wasn't trying to win it. I mean, I was just trying to make a
statement. Well, but no, but I mean. See, here's the thing. It's not just enough sometimes for me, it's not just enough to have a position when you're arguing it, but it's good to be able to explain it in such a way that other people can understand it. And that explanation really helps one understand. Once again, some people will still disagree with you, but at least they understand the logic behind your position. And I just so happen to agree with it.
Yeah, listen, if these people want to go up there and do the F asterisk Biden and make it say that all day long, who cares?
Right.
I've not put it in print. We know what you're alluding to, and I may still have to defend that to my child.
Right.
But guess what? F asterisk is a lot easier to explain than your child going, "Hey, what does mean?"
Okay. Or Buck Fiden.
Exactly right. Yeah, do that. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah, I bet old Joe would just he would mumble through that as a Buck Fiden. My name, Buck Fiden. Hi, I'm President Buck Fiden.
I bet you if you said it around him enough, he'd start calling.
He would. He'd
start calling himself President Biden.
AFT director there. Hey, you're with the AFT. You're with the AFT. All right. Craig, this next one, this story popped up recently. We within the last day or two. It's about constitutional sheriffs, and it caught my eye. I see a lot of this stuff, but I know many of the sheriffs that they're talking about in here. Sheriff Mack, for those that don't know, Sheriff Mack was the was the sheriff out of Arizona that fought back against the Brady Bill and Brady Law and got much of it overturned, giving back a lot of gun rights nationwide. But this story actually starts off talking about Sheriff Wayne Ivey in Brevard County, Florida. For those that don't know where Brevard County is, that's Cocoa Beach, Kennedy Space Center, Melbourne, Titusville over there. It's the beach side of Central Florida is what it is. And he is a champion of the Constitution is what he is. And that includes all of the amendments, First Amendment, Second Amendment. We can go all the way down the list. He's a champion of it, including the Second Amendment. It's the one he probably gets the most publicity for. Well, I guess somebody over there does not like the fact that he has said he's a constitutional officer and his duty is to his people and the Constitution. And according to the state constitution and the federal constitution, he is the man and the final decision when it comes to any items inside his county. And many, many sheriffs across the country have said that they are constitutional sheriffs, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to execute the job according to the oath that they took in office. And saying, listen, I took an oath and I'm going to keep my oath. I don't know where people come up with the idea that makes us militia or a bad thing, but I would tell you to take part in a satchel of Richards is what I would tell you to do. But.
Well, and I think the point to be made here is when he talks about the final authority, it comes to the enforcement of the law. And we've seen time and time again where members in the executive branch of, whether it's at the state or even at the county or even the city level, have said, look, my job is to, and I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, and I cannot violate the Constitution in the enforcing or in the doing of my job. Now, there have been folks who we've agreed with who've done that and folks who we've disagreed with. Shoot, here in California, we became a sanctuary. We were a sanctuary state before we were officially a sanctuary state because our attorney general and our governor decided they were not going to enforce federal immigration law. Right. You had a case where they weren't going to enforce when it came to the protection of marriage. The voters actually passed a law saying that marriage shall be defined as between a man and a woman, and you had the attorney general at the time, and you had the governor, or the attorney general at the time was Jerry Brown, and the governor, who was Arnold Schwarzenegger, refused to defend the law, refused to do their job because they didn't believe that law was constitutional. So once again, my point is that this is their job. And the only reason why these guys get upset about this, the folks on the left get upset about this, is because these are laws that they like, right? These are the laws that they believe in. And so when someone says they're not going to enforce those laws, they're not saying they're going to change the law. They don't have the authority to change the law. The legislative branch does that. But they do have the ability to decide which laws they're going to enforce or not. And then guess what? They can go to court, or the state can take them to court, or the feds can take them to court in order to determine whether or not they're going to be required to enforce that law. It's called separation of powers, folks. Get over it.
Well, they don't want to, Craig. We know that they don't want to. We know that they want to control the power, that every branch wants to make their own rules and make their own laws. They want to be the executive, the judicial and the legislative branch all at the same time. That's what they want to do. That's what happens when we see judges, and we say it all the time. They're legislating from the bench. You get that all the time with the conservative judges, with the liberal judges, not with the conservative judges. They respect the rule of law and the Constitution. Sheriff Wayne Ivey, I'll just tell you, is a great sheriff. I actually worked with him and for him for a while, not while he was sheriff in both of our previous lifetimes. So is an incredible guy. And if you step on somebody in his county or you do something wrong in his county, well, you're going to answer to the high sheriff. That's what's going to happen there. And that's what many, many sheriffs around the country are doing. And if this writer, this author, this hack wants to decide that saying you're a constitutional sheriff means you're a loose cannon and a member of the militia, well, guess what? Come to Brevard County and do something stupid. See what happens. We'll leave it right there for you. Sheriff Ivey, he got something for you. He got
right.
What do they say? He got something for you that Ajax ain't going to take off. Yep. So,
excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
Well, he's good people there. And welcome. Welcome to Kevin. Kevin's joined us. I see watching over here on the Book of Faces. So, thank you, Kevin. Oh wait, it's anyone knows it's. It's Kevin. He said he's short. Life is too short, and he said that he was short. I don't know. I think Kevin's pretty average height for a troll. Let's see what we got here. The like a garden one though, like a nice one, not like an evil one that makes you do a riddle to cross a bridge or something. You know, it's just
More like a gnome.
Is that what that is? A gnome? Like a garden gnome? I guess so. And have you seen the armed garden gnomes that they have out there now?
Armed? I have seen those. I want one.
Those I want the gnome that's holding a claymore. That's my favorite one. it's the best kind. Listen, I will tell you this too. If you see gnomes in people's yards, don't pick them up. Don't pick them up because the base of the gnome is the same size as many anti-personnel mines. So you don't want to go lifting up gnomes out of people's yards. They're also
bad decisions. Bad decisions.
Yeah. They're also good range markers. Also, I have a gnome at 25 meters. The next gnome is at 50 meters, so you get that dope right on the scopes. Let's see here. Oh, we got. All right, Craig. Now we're going to jump into a California one. Now that you focused on my picture here, I'll introduce you to the California one, and you can help us do it. California court upends criminalizing the use of wrong gender pronouns. Now, Craig, when you go to my my Twitter page there, it's I have my pronouns in there. Do you have your pronouns on your Twitter page?
I do not have any pronouns on my Twitter page.
Now, shame on you, because that's how Twitter is supposed to says you're supposed to identify yourself so people know what to refer to you as.
And what are your pronouns?
Beep, bop, boop. They say beep, bop, boop.
Okay. That's good to know. That is definitely good to know.
Well, I mean, I had to pick, so that's why I picked beep, bop, boop. And I got that from Gina Carana. So
if someone picks you as so according to this bill, and I kind of let you guys in on kind of what this particular piece of legislation was. It basically said and this was kind of a camel's nose under the tent. They wanted to see if they could get away with this. We talked recently, or in the past, about a professor who refused to call I believe it was a female transition to male. Male transition to female. He refused to refer to that individual utilizing a female pronoun. He was disciplined. He was threatened. He was eventually suspended. Wound up going to court, and the court said no. He has a right to freedom of speech. You cannot compel someone to use speech with which they disagree. You just can't compel someone to do it. But that was according to a job or labor. This particular bill dealing with senior citizen housing and senior homes, right? It basically said that if you work at one of these homes and you refer to an individual, a resident of those homes, by the wrong pronoun, you are now guilty of a crime, punishable by up to a year in prison and a $1,000 fine. Well, this court, even in California this law, even in liberal California with our liberal courts, even the California court came back and said, once again, no, you can't do that. That's a violation of their freedom of speech.
And what do you say here? It's what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? So we know that you do not get to discriminate against, and likewise, where it cannot be criminal for not using it the proper way. So this is it's, I guess, kind of refreshing to see out of this court. Where, Craig, is this a statewide court? Was this a local court there in California? Was it actually was a local court, or
it actually was a local court decision? So our courts are all for the state courts. They're placed in various counties, and they are initially they are appointed, but then they run for re-election.
Okay, yeah, we have something similar in Florida where they're appointed, and then during the election cycle it says, "Shall they be retained?" So
yes,
it's not like they be elected; it's just "Shall they be retained?"
There you go. That's what we'll call it. It's a yay or nay vote on whether or not they should be retained.
Yeah, and if they're nay, then somebody else just gets appointed. So
right.
It's kind of a win for the governor, I guess. So
he gets to make another appointment.
Yep. Well, this is this is good. This is good. I'm guessing that this judge was probably a little more strict on the Constitution than others may have been. So you cannot criminalize the use of wrong gender pronouns. It's just stupid. That's protecting free speech. And let me see if I can do this here real quick, Craig. I want to bring this up real quick.
Hold on, raise it up a little bit. Let me put you on the screen here. There you go. Wham. Beep, bop, boop.
There we go. Beep, drop my phone. Beep, bop, boop. And the red banner up top, that's because Twitter keeps taking down my Gadsden flag.
They what? They keep taking down your Gadsden flag?
Yeah, I put it up about once a week and they take it down.
Why? What is their argument for that? They call it hate
clearly
speech?
the Gadsden flag means I'm a member of the militia and I'm about to commit crimes against the government.
See, it's this sort of idiocy that I'm like, here's the thing. Here's the thing, folks. There's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate, right? You don't have to like the Gadsden flag, right? You don't have to like the fact that I refer to someone as the wrong pronoun. Someone like Mikey here, like she is out there, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I refer to you by the wrong pronoun, Mike?
Well, I'm just double checking here. Still a he.
Okay. Well, I prefer to call you a she since,
She got game.
All right. I'm sorry. No, let me use your right pronouns. So beep, because beep is.
That's me.
But I'm like, at what point are we just going to say, are we going to grow up and realize that just because something hurts your feelings, just because you believe something is quote unquote offensive, doesn't mean that it is in fact hate speech or that it is speech that should be restricted.
Yeah, exactly right, Craig. And the only thing that keeps, I think, of a lot of us afloat is that life is a pendulum, right? We are swinging one way right now, very far to the left, but it's going to swing back, and it's going to swing back with just as much force as you apply to the left. It's going to come back with a slightly more force from the right. And I'm hoping when it's at the peak of the right, that's when I'm about 80 or 90 and I kick, so I don't have to be back when it comes the other way.
Don't have to be there when it comes back.
Yeah. By then they'll be like, "Oh, would you like another artificial heart, Mr. Boop?" And I'll be like, "Okay, sure, why not?"
Well, I think that everybody, for the most part, is probably more libertarian than anything else, and they just, all this like, look, if you wanna, you do you, I'll do me. If you want to be a different gender or call yourself a different gender or whatever it is, then you have a right to do that, and I respect your right to do that. But I also have a right to what I believe. And I'm not going to be disrespectful to you, but I'm going to base my decisions and what I say and how I speak based on what I believe. And I have a right to that just like you do. And I don't understand. It
was actually a very great libertarian who identified as a Republican because he understood there was a two-party system. Our good friend, well, not a good friend of mine. I've had him on my other program before. Friends of his, former President Ronald Reagan, who was quoted as saying, "You know what the people want? Protect my borders and leave me alone." That's about as libertarian as you get. Protect my borders and leave me alone.
And leave me alone.
That's what the people want. Right?
Exactly.
Let's again talk about. Oh, I was going to pick up and show you the barrel from Guerrilla Machining, but it's not in the room with me here. But I can describe it. It's a barrel, and it's about. I mean, depending on
is there wine in the barrel?
Camera. Oh no, it's not that kind of.
Is there whiskey in the barrel?
So you're getting warmer. Sounds like. Let's see. So they're going to give you a 9mm barrel with a flash hider with it. This is another great part for either a short barrel rifle build or a pistol build that you'll be able to have a great time with. They're really, really good products from our good friends at Guerrilla Machining there. So thank you to them. And let's see. Oh, wait, I'm still on Twitter here. Let me. I lost the comments, Greg. You're going to have to tell me. Oh, wait, no, our back comments are back. Is this right? Wayne Ivey? We're going to give it to Wayne Ivey? Sheriff Wayne Ivey? Is that right? Is that right? All right. Well, I don't know. I picked last week because of the comment that was made. So it's up to you this week there, Mr. DeLuz. I'm only looking at like the last couple of minutes on Facebook because somebody left YouTube open and I'm watching how to teach giraffes to speak Spanish right now.
Well, honestly, man, I'm going to tell you what. Before we get on to it, we still have to do our parting shot.
Oh, let's do the parting shot.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do the parting shot.
Yes, we have to do the parting shot. So, For those of you who did not get a chance to watch Joe Biden's CNN town hall, which, by the way, nobody watched. The one of the few times he's actually gotten up in front of people and answered questions, I think in the last 100 days. You look at pictures of it, and it's like literally like the first 5 rows had people in it, and nobody else was there. And they were all sitting like right next to each other and real close up to make it look like there were a bunch of people there. But I digress. It rated, man, even below CNBC. That's how bad this was. That's how bad the CNN it rated. But well, it was. If there was ever an example of Joe Biden, of how Joe Biden is right now, I don't want to give it away. This was it. Here are some excerpts from the town hall.
I mean, it's going to be. What can a kid say? You got the vaccination?
Yeah.
Or whether those aliens are here or not. We know that this virus is in fact it's going to be. Or excuse me, what could they do? Portman is a congressman from this area. Xi Jinping in China. He's a bright and really tough guy. Over 600,000 people out there signing, 6 million people. Whether or not there's a man on the moon or whatever, something. 4 years old, when you see a red light cross the street, whoa, boy, you are. Why can't the
Wow.
I don't even know. I mean, Craig, the only response I have is eye roll. Like,
I literally cannot believe. I'm like trying to comprehend what he was saying at any given time. You had to be. And what was really funny was Don Lemon really was trying to lead him to what he was trying to say next. I just don't know how anybody can defend, cannot comment on his cognitive abilities based on every public appearance, just about every public appearance he's had. It's scary. It really is. What's worse to me is our enemies are seeing this. People on the world stage are seeing this, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's lost it."
Listen, if first off, I think he says it's Don Lemon. I don't want you saying his name wrong over and over again.
I got a right to free speech. I'll call him what I want to call him. Mama named Lemon. I'm gonna call him Lemon.
Yeah, if I was a foreign leader, say in China or well, at this point even in Luxembourg, and I saw President Biden reacting like this, I would just, all right, invade now. Let's go. Invade that country. Let's go. Attack. Because this guy's got no clue. This guy's got no clue what's going on whatsoever. If I would immediately take advantage of that, and I'd crank call the White House. I would do something. Just keep dialing the red phone, and when he answers, just hang up. Just to see how much you could have fun with this guy. This is absolutely it's embarrassing, is what it is for the rest of us, right? How do you look at this and see this? Now, Craig, you played clips where they were pieced together. Folks, go back, find this. It's a 2-minute long video, I think, where you can see this go from beginning to end. It makes less sense than the video Craig just played for us.
Those are admittedly those are all clips.
It's horrible.
It is one of the most embarrassing things you will ever see as someone who is supposed to be representing us. It's scary. And and once again, I'm not trying to say that Joe Biden is stupid or anything like that. The fact is, he's been a very articulate communicator for generations of what he believes, right? Yeah. And his political positions, even if I've disagreed with them, he has been as sharp as a whip during his best days. But folks, seriously, his best days are far behind him. And now we're seeing why they hid him on the campaign trail, why they kept him locked away in a bunker, because it's just getting worse. And I honestly do not see him making it 2 years. I honestly don't. I don't know how he does it.
If I was the Prime Minister of Canada and I saw this news conference going on, I'd immediately get on the Canadian broadcast system and tell everybody to run across the border, steal as much as they can, and be back in 15 minutes, and just come back. And just come back. Just take it. Just take it.
Just take it. They could get away with it too.
And then when they say to him, President Biden, Canada is invading us, it would take like 12 hours for him to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yep.
And by then, all the Canadians would be back up there and they'd be like, "Oh no, we don't know what you say. We never left Canada. We're still here, eh?" You know, and they would get whatever they want. They could take more and more. They could just keep picking up the stake out of the ground for the border and push it back like every 3 feet. Just push it back 3 feet. And by the time Biden realizes what's going on, they've got like a half a mile. We could lose the United States to Canada because of Biden.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, folks, hey, that's going to wrap it up for today. We're going to go ahead and we're going to give away our Freedback Friday item. We apologize for those of you who tuned in late. As I said at the very beginning of the program, the boss, my missus, we're heading out of town, and she was like, "You better be ready." And no offense, I love Mike and I appreciate all of y'all, but my little 5-foot wife scares the hell out of me. So. I am going to do as she says, Anyway,
looking through the comments here, Craig, it looks like Kevin Sona did a butt. Oh, wait a second. What did you say?
No. Kevin? Yes.
Oh, no, you're out. Sorry, Kevin. You just disqualified yourself.
What did he do?
He accused me of watching something I was not watching.
I thought that was the winner.
Oh, no. Listen,
I thought that comment made him the winner.
I think he's out. I think it might be Brian. I think it's Brian.
Okay. All right. Well, I have been overruled.
No, you got your wife there. Let's find out what she thinks. Bring her in. See who she says. Ask her, Kevin.
Oh no, she's
Brian.
not like right here. I mean, she's out there. She's not like right here.
Oh damn. You're making fun of her, and she's not in the room. What the hell, bro? This might be Craig's last transmission, folks. She's gonna find out.
I'm not making fun of my wife. Like I said, look.
That's good. Stick with that story.
Look. I listen to the wife. Look. Even Brian said, "Look, my 4-foot redhead wife scares him." Look, see now, just for that, Brian. Yes, you are the man. I agree with Brian.
Now Kevin's sucking up again, though. So I mean, we should give him a consolation prize.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll need more of them extra small shirts for him.
No,
right,
here's what we should do.
Brian's the winner.
We should give Kevin like a 3X, but cut it into a halter top.
We could do that. We could make that happen. Let's see. Listen, I know, folks. There's some of these prizes have been a little late getting out, so my apologies. They will be going out rather soon. We've gotten the shipping portion of the program taken care of. What we did was we had somebody that was going to ship stuff for free, and that didn't work out. Well, now that's been taken care of, so you'll be seeing your stuff rather soon.
Thank you. We really appreciate you guys. Y'all, we have a lot of fun doing this show, and if nobody watched, we'd probably still be sitting around talking about these things. But you guys make it fun when you guys get on here and you guys comment and you throw stuff in there. It helps out. It improves the quality of the conversation. So we very much appreciate all of you who take the time to tune in and encourage others to do the same.
We appreciate you watching us, appreciating you watch us.
Right. See, what's funny is that almost sounded like a Bidenism. I'm sorry.
Only if it ends with a weird comment about little kids. That's just weird.
Look, we're just going to start calling him. And let's go ahead and end the show because it looks like we have a fatal... looks like my program's about to shut off. So, folks, you guys take care. Remember, like, share, subscribe. We'll talk to you guys later.